Yeah. Okay, students. So we have a topic today: entity relationship model in database management system. So, entity relationship model is what actually we have seen the previous class. Entity relationship model is a data model in which we need to represent the logical structure of the our database by the graphical way or pictorial representation. In the entity relationship, we have seen the two type of the things are required. One is entity, other one is relationship. So let us understand all these things in detailed manner. So I'm just going to the next slide to explain the concept properly. So we must have the first question: what is an entity relationship diagram? That is a big question. So without going in much detail, I'm just giving the idea of what is the thing. So this is the point you have to keep in mind as a notes purpose only, nothing else specially. Okay. An ER diagram is basically what? This is the tool of the or conceptual tool in the data model to represent your logical structure. An ER diagram will show the relationship between the entity set. But we have the question: what is entity set? So you can read out over here and you can understand the concept properly. An entity set is nothing. This is the simple entity and which is consisted by the entities. Now, just like a just like a simple set. So in a set, we can have the various numbers. So all these numbers has own value. So in the case of the entity sets, in the entity set, we have the group of the entities, and entities also following by their own attributes. Okay, that is a big point you have to keep in mind. So relationship can be done by between the entity sets. That is the point you people are required to keep in mind properly. And practically or graphically, if I can say, the relationship can be done by the entities, and these entities also recognized as a table in the ER model. That is the point you people are required to keep in mind. So, from this perspective, we will see or we will try to understand the concept properly. An ER diagram can have the relationship among the entity set. What is this statement? So this statement is saying to over here like this one. I'm going to write some statement over here. So let me give some idea in simple way. Get this one. So suppose in an ER diagram, I have entity set. Suppose this is an entity set. And this entity set E can have the many entities that is recognized by the E2 and so on so En. So I can write this entity set. This is entity E1, comma E2 and so on so En. So in the my mod in the entire ER diagram, I can have the multiple entity sets and keep in mind this entity E1 and this entity E2 can have the relationship, can have the can have relationship. That is my point. And this E1 and E2 could be students, faculty, room, chair, window, glass, fan, lights, and any object. So that is a point we have to keep in mind. So this is to be identified by the EI diagram. That is a word we have seen first. Now, if talking about the important point we have to keep in mind, I have written this content over here in a simple way. Entity relationship model is simply ER model and it is a high level data model diagram. Why high model? Because it is best or suited model to represent your information in simple. The what you have to focus mind in the real model, the everything will be represented by the real world problems with the help of the pictorial representation. So whatever the problem you have, we can try to understand with the help of the pictorial representation. So that is a simple thing we have to keep in mind while learning the all those things. So from this perspective, we have the some components, and what are those components? So let me explain what are those components. You can able to understand an EI model. First, we have seen first component that is entity. So we can have the many entities. So I am just writing the entities. We can have the many entities. Next, we have the second point, relationship. So we can have the relationships many. So I'm writing the relationships many. And this entities will also recognize by the this relation entities will also recognize by the table in the practical. Yes, that is the point you have to keep in mind. This relationship basically is represented by the one to one to many to one, and many to many. So relationship is showing to the relationship between the two different tables or two different entities to identify what is the parameter on which we are making the or we are communicating or these two tables are communicating each other. Next point we have over here. This point is we have the that point we have the attributes. So this attribute is basically represent the column spell names or attributes. This basically identified what what are the features or attributes of an entity. So just like example, if I'm speaking room. So room is what suppose room is our an entity. So it can have the room ID. It can have the room name. Okay, room ID can also recognize by the room number and room size. It could be hall or it could be mini hall or it could be a normal room or we can have the simple thing and room can also be represented by the on which floor. Okay, so on which floor we have this room. So all these what these are the attributes. These are the attributes. So this can be identified by as an entity or table. This can be identified by as an entity or table. While all these can also recognize by as attributes. Okay. So far any doubt? Just tell me right now. So far any doubt? What an ER diagram can have? And these are the three important components we have to keep in mind.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I
Yes,
joined 2 minutes. Uh, I joined now. Sorry, sir,
no
because
issue,
of
no issue, no issue. No issue. Just ask me question right now if you have any problem regarding the concept only.
no, sir.
Forget
Thank you, sir.
the
Okay,
forget the attendance about right now. We will discuss later. We will discuss later on this point. Now ask me the question which is related
okay,
to the
sir.
question. So, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any student who have any problem right now? Okay. Any problem
Sir,
if you have regarding
sir,
yes, sir.
the example that you have just shown, sir, where is relationship, sir? What about relationship?
Relationship is saying here in this example we have only the rooms. So if see don't worry, I will tell you. But for remove your curiosity, I just need to explain something here. So just let me add one more thing, so I can explain over here. See, we have the two entities. One is a student. Okay, is it clear to all right now? This is a one entity, and this is another entity. Is it clear to all right now? These are two entities.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in this case, we have some attributes. So these attributes can be recognized by the student number, student name, okay, and student course in which he or she is studying. Okay, other things is not required over here, so no need. And here we have the faculty ID, so I can see here the employee ID as well. And here faculty name, so F name I can put over here. And here we can say the what are the course which are offering by the such faculty. So, so what is the common things on which parameter we can make the communication? This is the course. So this relationship can be created by like this point. So this is our entity one, entity one. For understanding, I'm writing here. This is the entity two, and this is the relationship R. This relationship will be stand up by only the course. Okay, so what is the course which is offering by the faculty? That was my point. So relationship also having own values, no issue. We will see step by step. So, but how to represent such thing that is necessary. So in our entire year diagram, how many entities we have? Two entities. One is E1 and E2. So this is what actually this is entity set. This is known as the entity set. Okay. And in ER diagram, we have only the one relation right now, that is a one. Suppose I am saying this is a R1 relation. So this can be represented by the relationship set. But it does contain only right now one relationship, no issue. So in entire ER model and ER diagram, we can have the many set entity set. We can also have the many relationships. Okay, so this is the point. Don't worry, step by step we will see. Because as per the real life situations, we can have the various kind of the thing. So we have the proper notation. So without knowing the proper notation, you are not able to write or draw the diagram properly. That was the reason. Okay. So far the concept is clear. The fundamental part is clear to all right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah. So after this point, no need to discuss more on this slide over here. So what are the three components? As I told you, entities, attributes, and relationships. So just for sake of knowledge, you can read some points. Entities what? Teachers, student, course, building, department, etc. All these are the example of the entities. Attributes, so all these entities can have their own attributes. So we have this example. So this is the point you can keep in mind. The examples, you can understand this example. The entity teacher has the some properties or attribute like the teacher ID, salary, age, etc. Okay, that is these attributes cannot be treated as an entity. These are identified by the properties of a particular entity. Okay, so what is the property? So as a human being, as a I have the lots of the property. Okay, so my organs belong to the my property. Okay, so my components, what are the my component? Ears, okay, and eyes, okay, mouth, leg, and hands and fingers. All these are the my attributes. Okay, that is the my point. And relationship tells how two attributes are related. For example, teachers works for a department. So the point is here over here, the teacher works for a department. So department itself is an entity. Okay. And this teachers also itself is an entity. So this if this is an entity one and this is entity two, so these two entities make a relationship. So what is the relationship? Works. Teacher works on the department. So in which department teacher belong? So there's a department ID. Okay. So there is department ID or department name by which we can recognize the students. Sorry, teachers' uh, visibility where she or he belong. That was a my point. Okay, so these are the three important components we have to keep in. Yes, tell me right now. Is it clear to all? Or anything you need to ask right now? Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you explain this example again, sir? That teacher part.
See, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I can explain over here. No issue. Just, no issue, no issue. I can explain over here. The teachers we have over here. Teacher is our one entity. Okay, so this can be identified. Entity will be identified by the rectangle. That is the point you have to keep in mind. And department we have. So we are writing a simple statement. Teacher works in a department. So in a teachers can have the teacher ID, teacher salary, teacher age, And department also having the department ID, department name. Okay, and we can say there's some course. What are the course which are offering by the department? So we have the simple thing. So if I'm writing a statement, teacher works in the department. So teacher works in the department. So there is a relationship between these two entities, teachers and department. So diamond symbol is used to represent the relationships. So I'm just making the relationship like over here. So teacher works the department. So teacher can work in a many department. Yes, we can have teacher can belong to the one department, main department. Yeah, of course, it's your choice how you represent. So teacher works on the department. So what is the thing on which we can say? So there will be one common attribute which make the relationship. So that is a teacher's department ID or department name. Okay, so to the department name or to the department ID, we can make the relationship. So this would be the common. This would be the common attribute, not the course. So teacher works in the department, so we have to find the proper attribute which making the relationship. So teachers work in the department. So teacher work in the department. So this relationship name can be work or belong to the department. So you can give the name of this relationship. So this is the point from which we can identify teacher works in the department. So what is the thing? So this works will be identified with help of the one common attribute, that is the department ID. Okay, that is the department by which we can easily identify that is a relationship between the two different entities. Okay, so now clear?
Yes, sir. Now clear, sir.
Okay. So after this point, you people are required to keep in mind some important points. So I am reading the some points over here. These are the two important points. That's why it is written over here. The important. The ER model captures the relationship between the real world entities. Of course, we are talking about the real world entity, teachers, department, room, student, faculty, and you can take the real anything. So in the while booking the ticket, so customers and the airline or railway reservation. So train itself is in real world object, okay, entities and customer. And if you are purchasing product as a customer, I'm purchasing some products. The product itself is a real world entities. That is the point. So real-world entities, much like the network models, as we have seen, but is not directly tied to the physical structure, to the database. Instead, it's often used for the designing the database conceptually. That is the point you people keep. That is the point. So some points we have to keep in mind while designing the database. So we are trying to create our information conceptually, and that's why it is known as the logical structure we are using. That's why we are using the logical structure. And some of the people, some here, many people place things are about the idea, or that is which data points are stored are referred to as entity. So I'm choosing the customer. So customer ID, customer name, customer address, all these are what attributes, and that are related to the customer's details only. So from which part I'm just using, that is the important point. And if talking about the relationship, so relationship can also recognized by the one important name over here, that is known as the cardinality. So cardinality, we can use a word, another word you can use the relationship. It's your choice what kind of the words you are using. So both are having the same meaning. Okay, both are having the same meaning. So do not get any confusion. If we're talking about relationship or cardinality, it means we are talking about the relationship type. Cardinality basically represent the relationship type actually. What kind of the relationship type we have in the our ER model. That is a, but we are also having the same meaning, same sense, but it represents the relationship type. And what are those? One to one to one, one to many, many to many. Okay, or you can use a many to one. This is a point you have to keep in mind. So these are the fundamental things we have seen many times again and again. So now let us understand what are the various symbols You should ask me question right now, sir. You are using a rectangle box to represent the teacher and department or for an entity. So we have the some notations. Of course, we have the some notations. So let us understand step by step. Here, this is a simple example. Now you are able to see. So simple example, ER model you will be able to see over here is student and college. So student is an entity and in which we have attributes. So what are those attributes? You can understand what are those attributes? See, attributes are attributes. So student ID attribute. Student name is an attribute. Student address is also as an attribute. Now mobile number is also an attribute. And city in which the college is also available, the college ID, all these are the attributes. All these are associated with the attribute. That is the point. So what it is written here, student is studying in a college. So you can see the college is what? College is a real world entity and student itself is a real world entity. So we can make the relationship between the student and college. So what is the relationship? That is the studying. So this is the relationship and this would be the entity 2 and this would be the entity 1. So relationship can be done by one to many. So how a student, okay, if I'm writing a student is studying in a college. So what is this? This is a one-to-one mapping. Okay, so focus on the my one-to-one. One student is studying inside a one college only. So do you have any right to study in the multiple colleges? No, practically it is not possible. But if it is so, if the students are joined another course for the part time, so he is also part of the another college as well. So at the time, a student is joined the or student is studying in a many colleges. So this relationship could be the one to many, and this is known as the cardinality between the two different entities. Okay. Now this point is clear. Just tell me right now. Is it clear to all? Just tell me. This point is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, clear.
Yeah. So if you can say many students are studying in a college, so this is what many to one. Okay, so we will see all these things with the help of the example. Don't worry. So you can see here I have already written over here many to one. Many to one as a college can have many students. Okay, so this is the perspective from which you are studying. Okay, don't worry, I will give some more example for more clarification about the cardinality relationship type. But before that, let us understand the fundamental. Yeah. After understanding this point, you will able to see there are some notation, some symbols. Okay, so this heading I can put over here. Notation to draw an ER model. So these are the some notations you people are required to keep in mind while drawing a model that is an ER model. So no need to discuss more again over here. We have already seen rectangle is what? Rectangle is our name of the notation or symbol. We can use the symbol for symbol or notation. Okay. So represent entity set. So I'm representing this entity. So person could be an entity, customer, anyone who could be an entity. So this will be represented by like this. Ellipse. Ellipse we have used for representing the attributes, just like the city, name, age, and date of birth. So you can see the this is marked by over here. So that is a just focus on the arrow which is already drawn over here. City. Next, I'm talking about the diamond. Diamond is more specific. Diamond symbol is used to represent a relationship shape. So we have the diamonds. Okay. So just like the Relationship course. So which course is opted by the student? So there is a relationship between the student faculty on the basis of the course. Now, lines lines basically used to make the connections between the relationship to entities or entity to relationship as our required, and no need to define over here. So we can know the line is default. Next is double ellipse. Double ellipse is applicable when we have the multi-value attributes. Now, what is a multi-valued attribute? So multi-valued attribute, the symbol you have to keep in mind, it is already drawn over here. Now see this diagram. Double ellipse means we are talking about the multi-value. So where it will be applicable? So which attribute can have the multi-value? That is the point you people are required to keep in mind. Address, your name. Address can have the first address and last address, first name, first address, or you can say the permanent address or the temporary address. If you're talking about the name, so name can have the first address, first name, last name, and middle name. So all these are represented by the this one. So if we have an attribute which is required to handle the multiple information, then at the time we have the multi-value attribute. Okay. Now we have the dashed attribute. Dash attribute I have already designed over here. This dash attribute is also known as the derived attribute. So derived attribute, you can say how you can say this derived attribute. Yes, of course, it's very simple concept. If derived attribute means suppose this is the is. Now I'm representing my attribute symbol, that is a dashed ellipse, and now I'm saying this is the derived attribute. So how you can say? Why? Because you people are required to keep in mind age of a person, age of a person will depend on date of birth. So date of birth is another attribute I am representing into my database, but on the date of birth I am calculating the age implicitly. So the information which is holding by the age value, and that is what? That is the drive. Because information is driving from the date of birth. Okay, so that is the point. Now double rectangle. So double rectangle basically we use to big entity set. Now, what is big entity set? Big entity set is an entity in which the information will be represented by big. In the means this cannot be a primary key. This can have the duplicate information. This can leave the information. Just like any remark, or I am just if I need to ask any question to or fill the details. So you will say, sir, should I require to fill my name over here while doing some activity? So that is the optional part. So at the time, the particular entity name, student name will be the peak entity. So you are filling your name, it doesn't mean you are not filling your name, it doesn't mean. Okay, so it's a choice. At a time, such entities recognized by the peak. But if I'm saying no, it is mandatory, you have to fill the mandatory. So at the time, it is also known as the good attribute. Okay, good entity, we can say. But in the case of we don't have any primary key. So because an entity can have the many attributes, but at the time we found that student name can be duplicacy. So this is not a strong entity. A strong entity is an entity which is required to have one key. That is what you have to keep in mind. It is required to have one key, and this key could be the primary key or any foreign key, just like this one. So that is the point you people are required to keep in mind properly. While in the case of the big entity, if an entity is not having by any kind of the key, so at that time we have the big entity because it can support the many records in form of duplicates or redundancy. So that is it. So at that time, such entity recognized by the double rectangle. But most of the time we will not use this. Now next we have the double line. Double Double line usually is represented by the total participations of an entity in a relationship set. This can be double line will be identified by like just nothing simple way. Just use this symbol. Use two lines like this one. First line nothing else specially. What what I am doing right now. The total participation of entities in the relationship chat is saying to us at least one record, one information belong to the such part. At least one information. So if I'm opening a university, if I don't have any student in the my campus, so what is the sense of using the opening the university or college? There will be no sense. So in a college, at least one student will be there. So focus on the my words. In a university, at least one student will have or will be the part of the university or college. So what we have, so total participation, or it will be the total participation between the student and college, because we are making the relationship properly, but we have at least one student in a college. That is the reason. So we will represent such information by the double line, or we can say it is known as the we can say it is a total participation. That is the point. Okay, so it is clear to all right now. Or anything you need to ask?
Sir,
It is
can
clear,
you
sir.
please explain double lines again?
Double line can be represented by the another example on the next slide. Don't worry, we have an entire slide for probably. So let me explain when we have to discuss the any key attribute. So that key attributes means suppose we have the primary key. So at that time, this attribute will be designed by this way and made by an underline. Okay, so this is the point. So this can be a simple example, just like the student ID, because student ID cannot be duplicacy. So add such attribute I am making over here that will be represented by the key attribute. And if my entity is belong to the key attribute, so it means I have the strong entity. That is simple terms you have to keep in mind. Okay. I have already mentioned over here, but I have right here it properly. Is it clear to all right now?
Yes,
First,
sir.
keep in mind all these notations. These notations are clear to all. I know. I understand the thing. Something you have to keep in mind properly, and it will be inside your mind while doing some practice. Okay, but focus on this point. No problem right now. So while solving the problem, we will see all the things once again step by step. Okay, but let us understand right now what are the important notations: rectangle, ellipse, diamonds, lines. Okay, and double ellipse and double dash ellipse and a double rectangle and a double lines. All these are some things we have to see properly. So far, is it clear to all right now? So far, any doubt?
It is
Yes,
clear,
tell
sir.
me any problem. Okay, good. So what are the component of an ER model? So no need to discuss again over here, but I have already explained over here, but I have drawn this image properly. So the point you have to keep in mind, entity. Entity is an our first component. So this is our first component. And as we know, the attribute is the second component and third one was the relationship. So in an ER model, we have the various things. So entity, which is represented by the two parts. One is a weak entity and other one is strong entity. So when talking about a strong entity, it means the entity, I can write over here, entity, an entity which is having key attribute. Okay. So this key attribute means it could be the primary key, foreign key, or a composite key, we can say. Okay, so step by step we can see. So attribute could be the key attribute, of course. So we can have the key attribute, composite attribute, and now the multi-value attribute and derived attribute. And relationship will be the one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, and many-to-many. So keep in mind, attribute, entity. Big entity means it does not support any key attribute. So we have the big entity, duplicacy will be there. And to avoid the duplicacy, what we have the strong entity. So this can be represented by the an entity which is having key attribute and nothing else. Okay. After this point, we were talking about the second component in attribute. So we have the key attributes. It means an attribute which is represented by the key. Composite. Composite attribute will be represented by the multiple values. So when we have the multiple values, so we can expand the such attribute in other attributes. That is known as the important point. We will see the step by step. We have the examples, don't worry. Multi-valued attribute, it means an attribute which are having by the multiple values. Okay, so that is the point you people are required to keep in mind. Next, drive attribute, just like the age. So age is a drive attribute which is driving from the date of birth. So if I'm putting the my date of birth 90, 80, so 90, 80, 90, 79, 978, so I will get the my age. But I'm putting the my age uh, to 2020, so definitely my age will be automatically come over here. So while filling the all the things, you will able to see the thing while choosing your date of birth, your age will be computed automatically inside the age text box. And this is really done by the drive attribute. A relationship, no need to speak again against one to one, one to one, and many to many we have. Okay, so these are the component, but in the case of the it's a component of Venn diagram with components of your diagram with their uh, with their subcomponents. We can say subcomponents. So entity can also have own components. So we have the weak entity and strong entity. Attribute can have the own components. So key, composite, multi-valued, and drive. And relationship of course one to one to many, and many to one, and many to many. ER model also having own components. So entity, attribute, relationship. Okay. So this is clear to all right now. This diagram is clear to all. Now shall I to move to the next part? Yes, tell me. Shall I move to the next part?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now let us understand the first component, that is the entity. So entity is saying to us an entity is an object or component of the data. An entity is represented by the rectangle in ER diagram, as I told you so many times. So I'm not speaking this part in more way. I've already spoken. Student is an entity and college is an entity. Okay, this is another entity, that is the entity one. And see, for understanding, I'm just writing the E1, E2, but you people are not required to write into the exam time. During the exam time, you people are not required to write to E1, E2. For explaining purpose, I'm writing E1, E2 and nothing especially. And this is our relationship R1, suppose that. So E1 is one entity, E2 is another entity, and it has own name, that is the student and college. So student and college will have the two different entities, so those are represented by the rectangular box. Okay, and students are studying inside the college. So how many students? Many students. So this is I have written over here many m, and here I am choosing the one. So what I am doing? What is would be the statement? The statement can be understood by like this one: many students are studying in a college. If I'm saying right over here, many students are studying in a many college, so I have to use the here m instead of the one. So m2 mm. So that is the point. So from which portion you are studying, or this statement can be written like by the. Okay, can you tell me this is the many to one relationship or one to many relationship?
Many to one, sir.
I'm saying this is a one to many relationship. I'm saying this is a one to many relationship.
So, but in the diagram, as you wrote, it says that many students are studying in one college. So maybe it is many to one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is you're on the right track. You are understanding properly, but it is only the way from which you are reading the statement, from which you are understanding the point. So I'm saying that many students are studying in a college, but I am saying, yeah, we have the same sense. Okay, the sense should be same. In a one college, many students are studying. In one college, many students are studying. So what is this? At a time, this would be the one to many. So from which direction I am studying the my from which direction I'm reading my points, it's your choice. But ultimately, we are getting the same sense, so there will be no issue. So we can read this statement: in a college, many students are studying. So that direction will be represented from the right to left only. So at a time, relationship will be the one to many. Okay, so that is the point. If I'm writing the in a college, many students are studying, then you are saying that this is the many to one. No, this is not many to one, because you will say then your statement should be many students, many colleges are many in many college, one student are studying. So at a time we can say, but our statement was not that. That is the point. So after transformation from the English statement to database representative AI model, you have to show the proper. Okay, so as I told you so many times, if we have the one-to-many relationship or many-to-one, we have the same sense, but you have to choose the direction from which direction you are reading, nothing else. Okay, is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this representation will be done by the entity. Now, big entity. As I told you so many times, what is a big entity? Big entity means it does not supported by the key attributes. So uniquely, if we don't have any key attribute, so we are not able to identify the our record uniquely. So that is the reason we have this point. So please focus on the example only, nothing else especially. In a bank account cannot be uniquely identified without knowing the bank. So in a bank account, we have the bank. So you have the what is the problem we have the bank account, so that is will be identified uniquely. But suppose that we don't have at a time, what will be happen? First let me show the diagram. What diagram is saying, big entity is represented by the double double rectangle. Okay, so this is an entity, that is a bank account. So in a bank account we have in a bank account we have the bank account number and other details. So in a bank we have the many accounts, but we found over here in a bank account we found that we are not having key attribute. It means we are not able to identify the any customer account uniquely. Suppose we don't have this problem, so at a time such entity will be represented by big entity. Let me explain this example in simple way. Suppose so if I'm having the student, I have a student database. Without any doubt I have the student database, but in the student database from the our university is connected. Suppose this is a normal entity, no issue. But I found that there is no student roll number are generated so far. So how I can identify this student belong to the such course, this student belongs to such course? Or because on the name parameter I can't easily find out. So at a time, the such entity that belong to the student entity will be recognized as a big entity because I don't have any key attributes. If I'm making the key attribute to the name, so there will be no sense because there can be the multiple names who can belong to the same course. So at a time we are not easily identified. So if I'm trying to mix the relationship, then so there will be a relationship between the two entities. That is one big entity and other one is the normal entity. That is the point. Okay, so this is clear to all right now.
Yes, sir.
Does not have roll number. That is it. Now, strong entity is also recognized by the strong entity is also recognized by the while using the key attribute. So that part we will see inside the key attribute. So let us understand attribute part. An attribute is basically describe the property of an entity. Yes, of course. If I'm choosing the human being, so what is a human being property? So his or her organ belong to the properties. So that is the point. So how many legs you have, how many hands you have, how many fingers in your hand you have. So all these are recognized by the properties, and that is can be identified by the attributes in the database, of course. So that is we can say the properties of the entity will be identified by the attribute, and this will be represented by the oval. You can use the oval, no issue, or you can use the ellipse keyword, there will be no issue. Ellipse we can use or oval we can. So yes, we have the ellipse. So we can use the oval or we can use the ellipse. Okay. So there are the four type of the one thing. So we have the key attribute, compose attribute, multiple attribute, and tribe attribute as we have seen. Now from the attribute, let us understand this point. What is the key attribute? Key attribute basically is an attribute which is used to identify as a uniquely, and this is to be supported by the strong entity. So I have already written over here. So I can write over here in simple way when we have a key attribute, then we are using strong entity in the ER model. So such entities which is supported by the key attributes is recognized by the strong entity. This is the point you have to keep in mind. Okay, so student is we have the is an entity. So it can have the roll number that is according by the key attributes, and because key attribute provide the uniqueness to the R records, name, age, address. So these are the other attributes. But student is a strong entity. So there is no symbols. So by default, we can say the normal attributes symbols will be transformed into the strong entity. But we have the big entity, then that is to be identified by the double ellipse or double ellipse box. Okay, so this is the point. Okay, double ellipse, not double ellipse, sorry, double rectangle we have to use. So ellipse will be identified by the attributes. So if we have the key attributes, so key attribute will be represented by, just let me write over here. Key attribute will be represented by the first ellipse or oval. But if we have the key attribute, so keep in mind we have to use underline. Okay, and this is the attribute name, and we have to underline such part. So in the roll number, you will be able to see which is underlined. So now let me explain key attributes. So key attribute was an attribute which is underlined inside the oval or ellipse. So you will be able to see this is a key attribute. Okay, so this is a symbol we have to use. Now is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so how many attributes we have? I am just reminding you all once again: key attribute, composite, multi-valued, and derivative. After seeing the key attribute, let me explain the composite attribute. Composite attribute is what? Is an actually combination of the other attributes. So those are recognized by the composite attribute or combined attribute, we can say. So from this point, you will be able to see a name of the student can be categorized by the or subcategorized by the student's name, first name, last name, middle name. So in a student entity, we have the one attribute that is address. So address can be represented by the other sub attributes, and this is also known as a composite attribute, and that is a pin, state, and current. And this can also be identified by the address can have the permanent address and local address. Okay, so if you're staying in the hostel, so what is your permanent address and local address? So suppose a student. So student is also having their own information over here, and he belongs to the one attribute that is address. So if I'm just making this address, and this can be expanded by the local address, okay, local address, and this can be identified by the permanent interest. So you people are required to keep in mind all things properly. We can have the all the things. Okay, and you can expand all these attributes in simple way. So if you want to expand your address, permanent address, local address in more details, of course you can use pin code, state, country, okay, local area, and city name, and if you have the local address, so many things you can keep. So this is the composer attribute. That is the point we have to keep in mind. And same example, we have the name. So name can also categorize into the first name, last name, other name. That is any other thing if you are remembering. So you can explain by the simple way over here. So if you really thinking that this will be applicable as composer, if it possible, then we can. So this composer attribute means we are combining the entire information inside the one attribute, but if we need to filter out, then we can filter out. So that is known as the composed attribute. Now this attribute is clear to all right now. This attribute is clear to all right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next, yeah, okay, good. So next we have the multi-valued attribute. So in a multi-valued attribute, an attribute which can have the multiple values. Okay. So if I'm making a record and in which I need to put the two values, then what we have? We have the two things. One is a permanent contact number or temporary contact number, permanent contact number, or your father contact number or your own contact number. So if as a proctor, it is my responsibility to keep your permanent contact number as well as the father contact number. So what I will do in the mobile field, I will keep the two information just like this one. Just like this one. Suppose we have the mobile number. So instead of the putting one detail, just like the 999 and so on so, I'm just by using comma, I'm also keeping the other information like 8 and so on so. So one number belong to your number and other number belong to your father contact number. So in this what? Instead of the single mobile number, I'm keeping the multiple information. So multi-value means I'm keeping the multiple, keeping the multiple data. Okay, so this is a simple thing we have to keep in mind. Multi-valued attributes, multiple values we are putting. Okay, multiple data, or we can say the multiple values. So this will be recognized by the simple notation. So what is its notation? What is its notation? Yes, we have to use the double oval or double ellipse. Okay, so we have a P attribute, compose attribute, and multi-valued attribute. Okay. After this point, we have the derive attributes. So you will able to see over here in that example, there is no special thing is required over here. But let me explain the first its symbol. What we have? We have the first symbol dashed oval, or we can say it is also recognized by the dashed oval or dashed ellipse. So this is the notation for representing the drive attribute. So you will able to see your age will be derived, but from which point? Date of birth. Okay. So you are getting your age from your date of birth. So this is what? This is what? Age is depend on date of birth. So that's why age is what? Age is a drive attribute. Okay. Now it is clear to all right now. The fundamental is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So student phone number, yeah, student phone number is what? Student phone number is what? We have the double ellipse. Can you tell me what is the double ellipse we have over here? Double ellipse student phone number, what is showing? Can you tell me? In a student phone, we have the, yes, tell me. Just tell me. Why we have the student phone number as a double ellipse? Can you tell me?
The multi-valued.
Multi-valued. It means student can have the multiple contact number. If one phone number is not connecting, so we can communicate to the other contact number as well. That is it. Student name is we have the normal attribute, so no problem right now. And age we have the drive attribute, and date of birth is what? Date of birth is definitely normal attribute, so we don't have a problem. But student ID you will able to see there is a underline. So this is what that is what actually key attributes. Okay, so I'm writing over here for better mind. So you will be able to see all the things in the notes purpose. Just let me write here.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, what is the difference between composite attributes and multi-valued attributes?
Yes, no problem. So just let me explain the simple things with an example. So you will happy to see this. See, I'm just drawing a simple example over here, that is student. Okay. Now you will tell me right now. This is entity. Can I done? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So student roll number, student ID, this will be the key attribute. So I can make my this attribute as a key attribute. So can I say this is a key attribute? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Student, yeah, student name is normal attribute, so it can have the double information or duplicacy. There will be no issue. But student contact number, or we can say student phone number, we can have the multiple phone number of the student, because now in today's era a person can have the multiple number, so we can draw this just like this way. And this is to be identified by as a multi-valued. Now is it clear? So we have seen the key attribute multi-valued example over here. Now is it clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Sir, but
Okay.
what about address, sir?
I'm
Address
coming,
is
my dear. I'm coming.
okay.
Please, just step by step. And after entering the student date of birth, so we have this information, so there will be no issue. But student just need to get the age, how she or he has right now. So we can connect the age. Okay, no problem. I'm just taking like this. So age is totally depend on the date of birth. If we have the some information or we have the some data we are getting in our table or database by the help of the other attributes, that is what we have the we have the drive attribute, or we can say dependent. So this is also known as the drive attribute. Now is it clear to all right now, or any doubt in these three kind of the attributes? Tell me right now.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So after understanding this point, a student asking me question, sir, what is composite attribute? Okay, so you have this example. So now you have put the address. Now after putting this address, you are allowed to do the anything over here. You can put the address. So what you are putting your name, you are putting your care of address, you are putting the PIN number, PIN code, state, city, country, and so on. So In the case of the my point, we have, suppose we are drawing our AI model to distinguish or to define the thing that is a particular attribute is following by the composite attribute. So how I can draw like this one? That is an area. A Carolinian, he or she has, from which city he or she belong, and what is the pin code, and next which is state, and if some student belong to the other country, so you can put like this. So this is my point. You people are required to keep in mind this address attribute is expanded into the other sub attributes. So that's why this address attribute is known as the composite attribute. Okay. This is known as the, I'm choosing different color for betterment. This diagram will show the picture clearly. Yeah. So this is known as a composite attribute. This address. Okay. This address belongs to the composite attribute. Now clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me. Any doubt over here? So this is the best example to explain all the various type of the attribute here we have. Yes, tell me. Any doubt you have? Please, you can ask right now. This is a composite attribute. Address is also known as composite attribute because we are expanding our attribute information into the its sub attributes. Okay. So composite attribute I can write over here. Expanding the details of an attribute into its sub attribute is known as composite attribute. Okay, so this is the definition of the composite attribute. In simple way, I have put it over here. Now clear? Yes, any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
No, sir.
Good. So now come to the point of the relationships. So when talking about the relationships, so relationship represented by the diamond shape, it is already underlined over here. So what is the relationship? Relationship is showing the communication between two different entities. So we, as a faculty, I'm teaching the many students. So faculty can teach the many students. So there's a one-to-many relationship. Many students are taught by the many faculty or one faculty. So depend on the what kind of the words you have. At the time you can interpret your relationship type. Okay, so from this perspective, we have the first relation, that is a one-to-one relationship. In this world, as we know, one person can have only the one passport. You are allowed to have the two passports? No. So if you suppose you have, then we can say you have the multiple passports. So you are communicating the one-to-many relationship. See, but I'm talking about the in general way. I'm not talking about the special cases when you have the two different countries passport. You can have, practically you can have, depending on the circumstances, but in the general way, are you allowed to have the multiple passport? No. So that is the reason we have the simple type relationship, that is a one-to-one. Person is an entity and passport is an entity. So passport is also having own different attributes, the passport number, and to whom passport is issued and where it is issued, what is the local region, local area. Okay, so and so detail. And person also having their own details, person name, person ID, person contact address, and person some identity information just on which the passport was to be issued. So that is the point we have over here. So this is the one-to-one relationship. Now, is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now one-to-many. Customer placing the many orders. Yes, as customer, I'm visiting a hotel or restaurant, and I need to place the order. So first I'm booking the Coffee. Okay, now I get. So I think no, I'm thinking no, I must have some different kind of the food or some Chinese or some different kinds of cuisine I must have. So I'm ordering a different kind of the food. So as a customer, I can place the one order, I can place the multiple order. So if I'm placing the one order, so at a time, what is the we have? We have the 1 to 1 because on the my bill I will see only the one product that on one order I have placed only. So that is 1 to 1. But on the bill I have placed the 5 to 6 order to order the different kind of the things as you wish. So different kind of the cuisine I have ordered. So at the time I have the one to many. So see we have to keep in mind what kind of situation we are following. So at the time we have to predict or we have to determine the relationship. So one to many is there. Is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
So next we have the many to many. There is the many to one. So many to one we have already seen many students are studying in a college. Okay, and we can reverse this part one to many. In one college, many students are studying. Okay, this is simple. Many to many. So we have the see one to many. One customer is placing the many order, and many to one. Many students are studying in the college, and many to many. Many students are assigned the many projects. Yeah, this is a good point. So many students are busy with the many projects. So as a you're a student, so you are involved in the project one or project two. Okay, which is to be assigned by the your faculties. Then other students are also busy. So overall, in the R database, what we are observing many students, which means the same students can be busy with the many projects. So there is no fixed policy we are using. So in this semester, only one project in the university will be assigned a project only. No, that is the point. Many students or multiple students can design their project or they can involve in the multiple projects. This is the situation. Okay, so this is the real application, real example. So these are the relationship types. Now, is it clear to all right now? One to one, one to many to one, and we have the many to many. Is it clear to all right now? Yes, tell me right now. You have.
Yes, sir, clear.
Clear, sir.
Okay, so now I'm backing to the yeah. Okay, good, thank you. And now I'm backing to the my important point over here as we have discussed so far. Double line. A student asked me question, sir, what is the meaning by the double line? So now I'm going back to the my last slide, which we have discussed, that is one to many. Okay, so after this point, we have a total participation. Total participation of entity, what is saying to us? Total participation of entity is represent the that each entity in the entity set must have at least one relationship. Must have at least one relationship in the relationship. Suppose you are I'm taking real application right now. Suppose as a customer you are placing the order. You are placing the order. Okay, right now I'm not talking about the how many orders you are placing. You are placing the one order, multiple order. I'm not talking about this one right now. So based on the based on the same example, we are taking place. Okay, same. So based on the placed relationship, you are placing one order. I'm not writing over here one to many or many to one or one to one. Okay, it is not required over here. So as a customer, I am placing the many order. I am placing the one order. It's my choice. Now think about when you're visiting a restaurant, hotel, you are sitting in a dining area, and then you're trying to ask something from your friend or something. Then after sitting, you will not move uh, from the dining area to outside. No, that could be happen. So if you're visiting to particular restaurant hotel, at least we'll say Now we have come over here. Now the quizzes are not good over here. So I think so. So better idea to at least we have the one copy over here. So what you are doing actually, you are trying to make at least one order. So when we have the thing point over here, when try to place at least one order, then this is known as the total participation. That was my point. So if we have a student, so in a university, if we have opened, now after opening the university, if we don't have any students, so what is the sense between the relationship between the student and university? Because no student belong to such university. So at least if we have the one student, so at least what we have, at least we have one student. I'm not talking about 10,000 students or 1 lakh students. I'm talking about a simple point. So in total participation is saying to us in our relationship, at least one information will be there. At least one information will be there. That is my point. So if I'm a customer and I'm placing the order, so after visiting the restaurant, so at least I will place one order. Now I came to the restaurant, so I will go without any ordering. So definitely I will awkward. So it's a better idea to I need to place at least one order. So this will be represented by the double line. This will be represented by a double line, and that is known as the total participation. I'm marking in the circle. It means at least at least at least one order I will place. Okay, so this is total participation. At least. Okay, so this is the my point. Okay, so now it is clear to all right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the student asked me a question, the point is clear. So total participation means at least one. So in our university, we have the lots of the rooms. All the rooms are locked. So what is the purpose of using or opening this room? So in a room, at least one chair is available. So there will be a relationship between the chair and a room. Because at least one chair is available inside the room. Who can use, we don't know, but at least there is one chair is available inside the room. So this is a relationship between the room and chair. But in the room we don't have any chair. So what is this? What is the purpose of just constructing the such room? There will be no sense. Okay, so this is the example. Now is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now some notes purpose, what are the features of the ER model we have to choose? So graphical representation for better understanding. Yes, of course. See, this is a graphical representation. With help of the pictorial representation with by using some notations, we can represent our information in simple way. And now your diagram is basically use a visual tool. Okay, so what you have to keep in mind, visual tool. Focus on this word, visual tool. Okay. So we are representing the logical structure with the help of some notation. So we are able to see some thing into the form of pictorial way. So yeah, diagram is better. And it has to design the database in simple way. So we have the third point, database design. So we are able to design database design in clear way. So what we have, I can say in short way, able to design design database properly. That is the point we have to keep in mind. So these are the features, so these are the identified by the advantages part. Okay, and let us see some more advantage. Simple. Yes, of course, this is simple. Simple. No need to discuss over here. Theoretically, you can read out over here. It is simple. We are able to see the what is the relationship between two different tables. So it is very simple. And of course, it is effective communication tool. Yes, of course. We are able to see which tables or which uh, relation is or which entity is making a relationship to the other entities. And now an entity can communicate to the multiple entities. Yes, of course, it is also possible. So depend on the relationship category, you are using the binary relation or ternary relation. That is a point. So we will see this point. So that is a point we have to keep in mind properly. And now we have the easy conversion to any model. Of course, if we have the graphical way, so we can transform our ER model into the table. So how we will do this activity? I will show with the help of some example. Don't worry. So easy conversion to any model is also possible. So just like the thing, transforming flowchart into the algorithm or algorithm to the flowchart. So how our algorithm to the our source code. So that is a conversion will be easy. So do the graphical mode into the our code source code. So how we are writing the query, how we are transforming, that is a way. But we are able to see the things what is happening over here into graphical way. So this would be simple way. There is some advantages, disadvantage we have in, along with the advantages part over here. Yes, no industry standards for the notation. One standard is defined that is will be used by the conceptually, but there is other not standard. But now industry is also adapting all these notation in today's era. But all these disadvantages was the earlier days we have discussed, so I put it over here. But in the today's era, now industries are also adapting all these notation. So now, as a time to time, this has been reduced. This has been reduced, so we can say. But the point we have to keep in mind, some information is hidden. How you can say? We are not expanding the address in detail way or in this composite attribute. So we have to keep in mind the address will keep the information to the keep in mind the keep in mind to the various sub attribute. But we will assume at a time, just like I can write over here, hidden information. While using composite attribute, while using composite attribute, many times we will tend to uh, use sub attributes of the composite attribute many times. We are assuming okay, this address, but while designing a database, we have to write the pin code, area, state. But while designing the AI model, we have to send or we are giving the relationship to our mind. Okay, why we are putting on? Okay, we understand. If we are putting the address over here, then this address will be keep the information pin code, state, contains, and so well. But drawing the AI model, we are not using. But while designing a database, at a time we have to use. So there will be some little bit, we can say there will be some partiality between the designing a database and AI model, but it should not be. This is a drawback. But it is user dependency only. The attributes of the composite attribute. Okay, so this is the advantage part. This is disadvantage. Yes. Tell me any doubts so far you have?